Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to Idiots and Cars. It is a sub that we love to hate because, you just love to pick on people when they're just doing stupid things. Exactly like it says, when idiots get behind the wheel of a vehicle, stuff gets funny. And even though there are a couple of these posts that just end in crashes, and yes, I feel sorry for the people that were on the receiving end of these idiots, at the same time, you just have to laugh at them because there is no other way you're going to say sane when there is this many idiots on the road. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then, starting right off with when a Karen forgets her exit. Oh no, we're going to start off with immediately. Oh no, wait, whoa, that car did amazingly well. I mean, they probably should have stopped a little bit quicker than that, but hey, you certainly wouldn't be expecting someone to just stop in the middle of anywhere. Whoa, and that truck, wait, have we seen this one before? I don't know if I've seen this one exactly, but we've certainly seen posts like this before, and it's, look at this, where they're literally confusing other people because they're just going on the wrong way. From that angle, it looks ridiculous because you see the other white car just fly up the right side, and then really the other green car, which is obviously the Karen just missing her exit, just decided, she just wanted to go the same way. And really, as you can see from the video, it's not like she realized immediately that she missed the wrong exit. No, she drove for I don't know how long, but it certainly took her a decent amount of time to get all the way back. By the time she does a U-turn and then completely confuses the hell out of these people, like this poor black car that just goes, hang on, I guess I'll be backing up here. I don't know what the hell is going on here. You certainly don't look like an emergency vehicle, and even then I don't understand why you're on this side of the road going backwards. But no, just look at how far she has to travel. Like, we can't even see how far it is in terms of the scale from the last one to this one, but all the way around, and they still hasn't made it, or really, is that just her stop? So it actually doesn't continue, the video ends, but I can only imagine that she actually meant to go down this one. My god, she is just a ridiculous human being to be around. To be honest, I'm just always baffled as to how any of these people ever have a pristine car, because I refuse to believe that this kind of maneuver wouldn't be a common occurrence for anyone that actually doing a maneuver like that. I mean, perhaps not every single maneuver is like this, but really, how do you not just have people running up your bum every single time you drive just because you're doing stupid, idiotic things? I mean, I guess sadly, it is kind of how it works with driving. People that are decent drivers, they're always just having to clean up the mess of idiotic drivers. And I cannot even begin to imagine how many more accidents would occur if the ratios were a little bit more skewed, like exactly as we've seen in these entire posts. There was been the first car that braked hard, then the truck, and then the two other cars, and there was another car that drove past us. So there's been like at least 5 or 6 people that we've seen that are being completely confused and just, obviously avoiding this idiot. So let's say by the time she actually makes a turn, it's something like 10. So that is a 10-to-1 ratio. So imagine if it's like a 5 and 5. That would just be scary. And you would certainly not be finding me on any one of these roads, especially in the icy conditions. Like, what the hell kind of decision is it to make people swerve and brake really hard in a clearly icy or at least snowy condition? So hey, I guess all I can say about these entire posts is the fact that I hope she learned her lesson either through prosecution or just something. And I can only imagine they have this security footage for some reason, and I hope they could actually identify the number plates, because as much as it can be confusing and it just annoys me that anyone can be this idiotic on the road, at the same time, it's just actually scary that someone like that actually exists on the road and it is actually a fully licensed driver. And so I have no idea what country this is in, but I just hope whatever it is, so it just went, no, you don't get your license anymore. But why? What are we gonna have? Oh no, this is basically like the last one. This person obviously missed their exit, or I don't know what is going on, but not even going to the extent of the last lady when they actually just turned around. Nah, this person is just doing J-turns and just reversing. What the hell? Hang on a second. Are they trying to avoid the law, going, no, I'm not driving the wrong way, I'm just driving in reverse? I just don't understand why this person isn't turning around. I mean, yeah, it is idiotic in terms of what they did, but at least with the last person, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I can actually understand where the mindset of that kind of thinking came from, in terms of, well, at least they turned around because they missed their exit, when this person just decides to reverse all the way home or something. It's pretty difficult to pinpoint exactly how far they traveled, but it would have been, I don't know, close to a kilometer or something like that. And also, what the hell, I've just realized they reversed all the way up the on-ramp, but at the end of it, they actually faced in the right way. But no, you don't want to be facing the right way. You just want to continue to be in reverse because, I don't know, maybe somehow that's going to save you from getting in trouble. Just who knows, but it's just confusing. And in saying that, I feel as though we just have to have a moment's silence for that car's reverse gear, because really, it just would have been revved the hell out of. I mean, obviously this is time lapse, so it's a bit difficult to know exactly how fast they were going, but considering the fact that every other car is facing forward, and I can only imagine using a full range of gears, and this person is only using one reverse gear, unless there's somehow a very strange gearbox, I can only imagine that reverse gear, or at least the poor engine, would have been revving to maximum. Which is, every single time I watch this clip, I just don't understand it more and more. I just can't comprehend why anyone has chosen to do all of these decisions at once. Because I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm actually thinking straight, I guess these idiots can't, but at the same time, if I was going to be doing a dodgy maneuver like this, I want to try and make it as pain-free and then as fast as possible. And so really, I just don't understand why this person decided reverse was going to be the best way to do what they did. But hey, I guess I got to give them credit where credit's due. They certainly didn't seem to really endanger anyone in terms of they stayed within the lines the entire way, and except for when they get right to the top of the on-ramp, they certainly don't encounter anyone, so at least they didn't really endanger anyone in this entire stunt, besides the fact that they were in reverse for the entire way. So yeah. And so to be honest, I just wish we knew a little bit more about this person. I would love an interview just to kind of just pick their brain and figure out why they did what they did. My head hurts watching this. Oh no, whenever there was a petrol station involved in any of these things, you just know where it was going. She was just going to continually drive onto the wrong side or just trying to fill up the car on the wrong side, isn't she? Yeah, look at that. She's just done a U-turn and then she's going to get out, go, oh, it's on the wrong side. And then she's going to get back in and just do another U-turn and just continually, like, this person is probably still there. You can just watch her entire reality just melt around her. She just cannot figure out what the hell is going on. At least the Beetle actually finally forced her to kind of wisen up and just actually make the correct turn, because my goodness, like the title said, that just made my brain hurt. Or I guess at least for me, it didn't make my brain hurt because her brain was certainly hurting, but man, was it painful to watch. But no, we've definitely seen this breed of idiot before, and yeah, you might be kind of going, oh, well, Cutham's just like, you know, maybe they haven't driven that car before, maybe they don't know which side it is on, but actually, when you think about it, no one should actually be just doing loops around the petrol pump just thinking it's going to change the side of the car. Like, that's not how anything works. But to be honest, even though it's definitely painful just to watch this person go round and round and round as though it's a merry-go-round, I will definitely take this type of idiot in the car over any of the other types of idiots in the car that we've already seen, because really, this person really isn't endangering anyone besides just wasting their own time. Because even though she clearly can't understand how changing sides works, at the same time, no one was really around besides that Beetle, and really, then once the Beetle actually came, then it actually forced her, like I said, to make the right decisions. I mean, to be honest, I would have loved to see how long it would have taken her just to try and figure out on her own, just without any kind of other distractions or I guess barricades in a way like the Beetle was. But no, like I said, it is clearly just her problem-solving skills that are lackluster, and her driving ability seems to be fine, because it's not as though when she was doing all of her merry-go-round work, she scraped up her car by hitting the column or anything like that. No, she did actually manage to make the turns alright and make all the 3-point turns especially. And so to be honest, out of the posts that we've seen so far, I would definitely take this woman out of the 3 of them, because unlike the last 2 posts that we have seen, she has actually managed to not affect others with their idiotic decisions. Another idiot hoarding gas. Now the title of this post actually says another idiot, and I feel as though I have actually heard about something where in America people are hoarding gasoline, or I guess petrol, or whatever you want to call it, you know. I mean, for me it'll be petrol, but obviously for them it's gas and gasoline. But to be honest, that is kind of the extent of my knowledge. I have absolutely no idea why people are going around filling up buckets like this, or you know, even bigger things sometimes, like tray of utes or things like that. And for what reason, I'd love to know, because surely out of all countries besides maybe the UAE, the US isn't going to be running out of petrol anytime soon. I mean, I know they're the biggest consumer of petrol and diesel out in the entire world, even bigger than China. But come on, let's be serious. Given the US's position in the global market, there is just absolutely no way that the US is just going to suddenly dry up, that it just isn't going to happen. It's one of their biggest kind of money earners or whatnot. But in saying that, this post just doesn't really hit home for me in the same way that I can only imagine it would for an American. And really, like I said, I just don't know enough, and so I just don't really know why this would be an idiot. I mean, it's definitely a strange thing to be doing, but why is it an idiot? I mean, I guess it is the same kind of person that went out and bought all the toilet paper, and they were definitely called idiots, so I'm not surprising that these people are being called idiots, especially because they're just going to be whacking into the boot of their car, which really isn't going to be the best thing for your car, let alone the petrol just slopping around in there the entire time, because hey, they probably didn't even bring a lid for the thing. Even if they did bring a lid, a container like that is in no way, shape or form a real sealable container. So you're just going to be driving home with these fumes just slowly just circulating around the car. Like, besides the fact that it is obviously not good for you to be sniffing petrol, at the same time, you're just never going to be able to get that smell out of your car, especially just when it starts spilling over into your boot. So actually, the more I think about it, the more I actually commentated on it, the more I actually think that these people really are idiots, because I just cannot think of a single good reason as to why anyone would be thinking that this is actually a good idea. Like I said, once you stack up even just the things I've said from, you know, like the US is certainly not going to be running out of fuel to just even the fumes around your car, it just doesn't even make sense at all. However, I must say, if there was one counter argument to this post being on this sub, is the fact that this idiot is definitely not in the car, and this sub is idiots in cars. So look, I don't know if this really qualifies. I mean, I'm sure she'll have that thing filled up in no time, and then she probably won't be able to lift it into the boot because that's a 50-litre container. And then of course, in a struggling effort to get it actually in the car, she'll probably be spilling it all over the floor and all over her car. And really, that makes perfect sense, because obviously if you're trying to be hoarding fuel because there's going to be a shortage, you just want to be spilling it willy-nilly over the floor and just wasting it. And really, that is just the idiotic mindset, isn't it? Forced driver stops naughty Mercedes. Ooh, I must say that this is actually quite a nice Porsche that we're looking at right here. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that action if I could get my hands on one and just for free. But what are we going to have here? Obviously the ambulance is going through. Ooh, yes, nice work. I mean, actually, I guess I should probably say that I definitely don't recommend doing that kind of action and taking the law into your own hands. But really, if you have to choose a people's champion of this entire clip, it is definitely the Porsche, because the only other option here was the Mercedes that is just trying to just stuck through behind the ambulance, and everyone knows that that is just a complete wrong move to be doing. But hang on a second, I just had to listen for a second and I realized that the Mercedes hits this person's car. You know, if you actually listen to it on obviously audio, but right there when it actually just kind of pulling back in, and this person actually tries to, I don't know really what they're doing, I don't know why they would have hit them in the side, but really you can actually hear that there's some kind of collision or something going on there. So it certainly explains at the end here why we had this guy getting out of the car, but no, now it always coming together. But really, if I'm honest, I kind of feel as though there are 3 idiots in this entire clip. I mean, obviously, as we have already established, the top guy is obviously the Mercedes driver for trying to sneak in behind the ambulance, and then even though the Porsche is kind of the people's champion of this ship, I would probably put them second, and this actual driver would probably be third. But I just don't understand why this driver decided that was the right time to drive forward, because you can clearly see that the Mercedes has to have somewhere to go. You know, it's not as though they're going to go go and do what the other person did and just reverse all the way back. No, they clearly are just going to kind of nose in there, you mean? Like, even though it's obviously dodgy what they did, really, that's just the most sensible thing to do. So why did the dashcam driver decide to actually just pull up and try and fill that gap? It just doesn't make sense to me. They're just obviously just idiots on idiots on idiots. So yeah, I don't really know how I feel about this one, because I feel as though we are actually kind of the driver in this circumstance, and so I feel as though somehow I've been lumped into this entire idiots in cars moment. And so because of that, I kind of feel as though the entire video has been tainted, because I don't want to be the idiot. I just want to observe the idiots from as far away as possible. So this happened to me today. Got a lot of illegal U-turns off of the shoulder. Oh, alrighty then. I'm just waiting in anticipation. Where is this person going to be? Oh, there they are. Oh no. I mean, it's certainly not their fault in terms of obviously they couldn't see, but then again, in saying that, it is definitely no one else's fault, and they probably should have just kind of moved further down the road, just away from the completely blind crest. And really, as you can see, not only is it a crest, but it's a winding road into a crest, so there was just no way that this person that is driving was actually able to kind of anticipate anything around the other side of that corner. And so that poor driver's day has just been completely ruined. You know, they were just kind of having a nice leisurely Sunday drive, so to say, and then of course someone just has to go and ruin and just throw a spanner in the works, just make an illegal U-turn. And yeah, what am I talking about? It is very clearly just over double yellow line, so it is very not allowed. But no, what can I say? This person has just found the biggest spanner they can and just completely and utterly wedged it in the works, just so no one can actually go anywhere, you know, because they certainly made a mess of something that is actually a relatively simple maneuver. And from watching this clip a couple more times, I think the thing that is actually annoying me the most about it is just the fact that on the other side of the road there is very clearly just enough space to pull over and just do all of that kind of stuff. So for this person to just kind of pull over on a blind corner crest and then to proceed to make a U-turn, it just grinds your gears, and you would certainly feel as though from the driver you just be, you idiot, what have you done to me and what have you done to my day just to ruin it? And so what can I say? If you were looking for your one-stop shop to ruin your day and have your rest of your week just be ruined if you have to be on the phone 24/7 just trying to ring insurance companies, or I don't even know, that's an entirely different story, then this is just the place for you. You know, just come around to this corner. I'm sure there'll be another person just waiting to ruin your day. Idiot in a Hummer filled 5 gas cans expecting Shorty to just put them in his car and lit up a cigarette. Hummer destroyed, swipe to see gas can. Well then, what can I say? From the title alone, obviously we know what is going on here, but really the fact that this is obviously just another post in relation to this hoarding of gas or whatever you want to call it, really this is just ridiculous. The fact that someone has gone to this level, or I guess really not this level, but just how this person has clearly ascended to a level of idiocy that we have never seen before, you know, just keeping petrol cans in your car and then lighting up a cigarette. Do these people not really know how petrol works? You know, it is actually the fumes that light up, not the actual liquid. I mean, I guess actually through this photo we clearly have an answer to my question, but really people, come on, just why are you lighting up around any type of fuel? But here we go, here were the melted petrol cans just absolutely incinerated, and just everything around them has just been turned to sludge. I mean, in saying that, I must say that the petrol cans have actually held up surprisingly well, especially when you look at the rest of the car, you know, considering the fact that they are the source of the fuel for the fire. It is actually pretty incredible, I reckon, that you can still recognize them as to what they were in the beginning, and they are still red and not completely charred like everything else is. And if I'm honest, I reckon what the scariest thing about this entire post is the fact that this is definitely not the only one that is out there doing this, because I feel as though the demographic of people that is going to be hoarding petrol is also going to kind of Venn diagram virtually perfectly into a circle in the same kind of people that would actually be smokers. I don't know, coincidence I think not. I actually reckon you could add in a third circle to this Venn diagram and just add in Hummer drivers, and I reckon it would actually still be a perfect circle with even 3 circles of a Venn diagram in there, because I feel as though this exact post just represents the entire demographic of what Hummer drivers are all about, you know, just literally just smoking, petrol and big cars. And well, I guess obviously you don't want to burn out your car, but really it's not surprising when you have all 3 mixed together. So I don't know, is it wrong for me to say that I'm not surprised one bit by this entire situation that this person put themselves in? And of course I would never wish any harm upon anyone, but I must say that this entire situation that is, like I said, it just isn't that surprising, and really I just hope this person has learned their lesson if nothing else. And so now finally for the top of the month idiots in cars, we have our Ohio State Senator using a Zoom background of his home office while driving, debating a bill for harsher penalties for distracted driving. Well, what can I say that the title hasn't already said? That is just ridiculous. The fact that he has somehow green screened himself out of his own car is both somehow just respectable, then also just idiotic at the same time, and I feel as though that is one of the first time I've ever actually had to say that or even thought that with this stuff. But it really just is the fact that this entire Zoom call is centered around distracted driving, and he's literally doing what he's debating. I don't even know which side he's on. I can only imagine he's probably against the new bill, but I can certainly understand why this is top of the month idiots in cars, because even though he's actually done it, like I said, an alright job of cutting himself out, you can still just so clearly see that he's in a car, considering the fact that, you know, he's got his head movements down. I mean, obviously we want him to have head movements, you don't just want him to kind of just stick driving where he's just not turning and not observing anything else. And also in saying that, even though we clearly want him to be wearing his seatbelt for safety reasons, really if he's trying to hide the fact that he's in a car, probably can't be wearing the seatbelt. Like, it's kind of catch-22 in that situation. So hey, what else can I say besides the fact that I completely agree with everyone that has upvoted this, because even though we have seen plenty of common man, or I guess it's just even a little bit below common man idiots on this sub for this month, at the same time there is no way that a member of parliament that is debating a bill on distracted driving should be driving at the same time. Like, that is just the absolute trifecta specter of being an idiot, because I can only imagine that he maybe lost his job over this. I don't really know. Maybe they don't really care. I mean, I guess it probably more so depends on what the outcome of this bill was, but really the fact that you have a member of parliament just driving around, just kind of doing their job, nothing better in terms of just being an idiot if that's what you're looking for, is there? And just one final thing before we go, here we go, I'll pause it. The fact that we have this guy which is just driving around in his car while debating a bill about harsher penalties for distracted driving, and then on the other end of the scale we just have this guy which is clearly not in his car, or hey, I guess I can't really prove it, but that is one hell of a green screen behind him if he's actually in his car, but really he's probably at home and then also wearing a mask. That is just really the two ends of the scale, isn't it? But anyway, in saying that, that is going to do it for the top of the month in idiots and cars, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below and let me know if you had a favorite post about any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe you just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.